Okay, here's the real first work I've had to do on the Ariens. It broke the brake belt, and basically I didn't start recording, but when I started this, excuse me, a little bit windy here. I've been fighting this deck, but anyway, hopefully I'm not screwing myself, but I'm trying to shortcut this a little bit. What I did is I dropped these front two rods, which is just a holder and cotter pin on each side, and then I dropped the front two of these mounts to go from here down to there. And after I did that, I was able to use my little hoist I've got and lift the whole front up, which I think is going to give me pretty good access. I'm hoping I'll be able to snake that belt back from this direction and not have to pull the whole deck out. But anyway, this is where I'm at so far. As you can see, of course I had to take the two side covers off, but that was just some 3/8 bolts and 3 bolts on each side to pull those covers off. So now I'm going to get down here on the floor and wrangle with this and see how hard it is to get this belt on. Well, I got the new belt on using my system. Actually, if you loosen that bolt there and loosen that bolt there, it's just enough to use those little bolt, those little belt, that's just to keep the belts from coming off. That little piece right there. It's actually, you don't have to take the two bolts off, you just got to loosen enough to, you get some play in there and you can slide that belt underneath that one pulley. So I really didn't have to take anything off, I just had to loosen up that bolt there and that bolt there, and of course take that spring off, and then reroute it. I did have to lift the corner of the tractor up in the back so that I could get underneath there and hook the belt up to the main pulley to the motor. But actually, I think my little system worked pretty good. I only basically had to take 2 pins out and 2 clips, and those 2 rods there and there, and these here that support these, and that's pretty much it. I need to put the covers back on, and I've got that spring. Boy, that thing's a stiff spring, I'll tell you this now. I still need to walk it over with the screwdriver, get it down in the bottom piece. At least it's over the bolt now, but get that spring back in that bottom piece right there. See, it's above it, it needs to be down below it. And I'm debating on putting the covers back on or not. As you can see, when I took the covers off, they're just piled up with junk underneath them. I think they're more of a place just to create rust than anything, but they are there for safety. But anyway, I'm debating on putting the covers back on. But other than that, that's pretty much all it takes to change a belt out on a IKON 52. It's taken me probably about 2 hours. Not too bad. If you don't mind crawling on the floor and grunting and kicking and screaming, it's not that bad of a job. And I thought I'd go ahead and show you. I decided to go and put the covers on. You got 3/8 bolts. You got well, let me see if I can get it back in there. Right back in that corner there. There. And there. That's this side of the cover. Then you got that rod there and that piece there. I'm going to go ahead and drop it down here in a second after I tighten these, and I'm going to put the 2 covers on and tighten it down. And then I'll get to the front and show you how to put the 2 rods back on there. Okay, now all I got left to do is see these 2 rods here. They go in that pin there. Now one goes in that pin there, and there's 2 pins there. And then you have this piece here, which goes up there with the bolt in the slot. Right there, and on the other side. And this Ariens IKON 52 has a new blade belt. I ain't gonna say it was easy. I'm sweating like a dog. I did run into one little issue right when I was getting ready to get done. These side pins here, they go up through here and have the bolt that goes through it. So it's got a bolt and the slider piece goes like this. Goes through there like that. Well, anyway, the deck was about an inch too low for me to get the bolts in, which had I known that, I did notice when I pulled them out it kind of dropped. But anyway, just a heads up, just put you a block of wood underneath the front of that front wheel. I still had the winch hooked up, so I just lifted the whole thing after I put the 2 stable rods up front, so it lifted the whole deck. And go ahead and put that piece of wood underneath there, and then I can drop it back down and the bolt should fit in there fine. But anyway, just a heads up, kind of ran into that. Might say somebody else the trouble of having to try to figure out how to lift that up and get those 2 bolts in. And there's a closer view of the nut and bolts. See here. That's there. It's got that little spacer there. But anyway, those 2, one on each side, and that's the last piece of it. Just tighten those down. Let's start her up. Oops, got to put the brake on. Okay, let's start her up. Choke. Okay, let's start her up and see if my blade change works. I would say that's one successful blade change. This video was produced by me, the Electron Man. And hey, if you get a chance, subscribe. It helps me out. And have a good day.